Thursday, May 11th. There is no constitutional crisis yet, and this is nothing near Watergate yet, if at all. But let's go over really what happened, because the firing of James Comey really has no parallels or intersects at all with the Saturday Night Massacre when Richard Nixon got rid of three guys. It's not even close. Let's go and look at Watergate. I mean, the media just runs everything up. The politicians go with it, and then the media goes with the politicians. It's such a joke. Let's look at what Watergate was, man. A lot of people lived through it. I'm one of them. I loved it. I lived for it. I hate Richard Nixon because of it. What happened was, just before before re-election time, 72, Richard Nixon, the break-in happened, and then, of course, Judge Sirica jumps in, and Judge Sirica finds the Watergate burglars guilty, puts them in jail, gets one to talk, or tries to get one to talk. So they go to jail for the break-in. Then, as the Washington Post starts bringing in more from Deep Throat about this problem and about how he's really just kind of trying to hide things and do everything, suddenly, what was it, Alexander Butterfield or whoever it was, during the Senate investigation says that there were tapes in the White House of all discussions. Suddenly that gets crazy. Then President Nixon didn't want to put that out there, so the Supreme Court comes out against him. So all this information's going, and then he goes, wait a second. I'm just putting all this together over a few years, but wait a second. I'm going to show you all the stuff on the tapes. Goes on TV, has all these, I believe, bound books behind him, talks about, well, everything's in there except for the expletives deleted. Remember that? The expletives deleted. Nobody talks about that now, which was most of the stuff just chopped out. People went crazy, and then I believe it was around then that the Saturday Night Massacre occurred. I mean, I'm just jumping all over the place. And then everything started piling in on President Nixon or Richard Nixon because it was obvious. He lied. He lied. It was obvious he was holding back tapes and said he lied. Then, of course, we had the Rosemary Woods situation, which is his right-hand enabler with the what was it, the 17-minute gap or 15-minute gap, whatever that was. We played with that a lot at school. And then it just became more and more obvious that he was hiding something that he had given up because his own people were talking about this. When I say given up, I mean he gave up that he was, during the tapes, that he knew about it and said just kind of cover it up, along with all the other stuff about the creep committee to re-elect the president and try to hate everybody and just push everybody down. This guy was going crazy, and they finally had him in a corner. I mean, everybody was watching the Senate hearings every day at work, at night. There was no MSNBC or CNN or Fox. Everybody was piled into this. He had the newspapers who were pulling out all the information. He had him hiding everything. He had the Senate coming after him. He had his own people turning on him, and he had the Supreme Court against him. It just imploded because it was so obvious that the man was lying. Now let's compare that to this. Yeah, the Russians got involved. Okay, I think Michael Flynn is a joke. All that talking, I called him a Trumpite before. He thought he was a little Trump, could do a lot of talking, gets in front of the Republican convention, talks. Now he's in trouble. You don't talk about it. You either do it or you don't. I mean, you either just keep your mouth shut, or if you get in people's face and be holier than thou, you better be holier than thou. And this guy, Carter Page, would even like to be a part of anything. Now, look, there could be a cover-up. I don't know, but it sure doesn't look like it, but it sure isn't. It sure isn't Watergate. Nowhere near Watergate yet. So don't go for this jive that everybody's putting out there, Saturday Night Massacre, this, that, and the other. It isn't there. It could get there, but it is nowhere near there. So don't go for this stuff that everybody wants ratings for. Focus on the facts. Let's keep moving. Let's have the investigations. Have the Senate and the House keep moving. I'm in favor of an independent counsel. It's going to be up to them. But let's move forward. We know Russia did this. I don't like what Sergei Lavrov did yesterday. Basically, as I said in the last video, gave us the finger. We got to be cool about this and know what Russia's doing and deal with it. And let's find out if President Trump was involved. I just don't think he was. But we'll see. But today, there's nothing. So don't run for the jive that the politicians are throwing at you. It isn't there yet. Just keep your eyes open and your ears open. Then we'll know. Peace.